The things you focus on, that's what you treasure. Here in Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 and 20, 20, and 21, the Bible says, "Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. This is a concept that Christians they get but they don't get, right? It's here but it's not here. They know that they're not supposed to put anything ahead of God, but yet they do. There are many Christians that will put their hobbies ahead of God. There are many Christians that will put their their free time ahead of God. There are many Christians that'll put their families ahead of God and all of that. And whatever you put ahead of God is not going to be blessed by God. You have to understand that. When God tells us that He is a jealous God, you should pay attention to that because He absolutely means it. He is a jealous God. But what is He jealous for? He is jealous for us, you and I. He loves us so much that He wants our devotion. He wants us to focus on Him. And when we bring the things in our lives under that banner, under the banner of God, as it should be, then things aren't out of balance. I was just reading in Proverbs the other day where the Bible tells us there in Proverbs that that God does not like people that are out of balance. So the balance will always be you have God here, and everything else should be underneath. And if it can't fall underneath God, then it's not something that you should be doing. It's really that simple. Now, the things that we do and the things that we love and the things that, and maybe even the people that we love, the relationships that we love, how do we make them fall in line with God and keep them under that banner? How do we keep them from being our treasure and make God our treasure? Well, it has to do with whenever you look at God, that thing, what is it that's most important to you? First of all, what's important to you? Secondly, if it's important to you, is there any way that that other thing will fall on top of it, will supersede it, right? If there is, then you have a problem. If there's not, then you're pretty much good to go. So could you serve God in that thing? Just the other day, I was preaching, and maybe even yesterday, I can't remember. I was preaching a message about something similar, and we talked about I don't know. You have the blessings of having a wave runner, right? And that would be a blessing. A wave runner would be amazing. I don't have one. I've ridden them before, and they're awesome, and I'd love to have one right now. Absolutely, it's a hot summer day here in the deep south of the United States, and yeah, I'd love to have a wave runner. Now, what some people will say, what some Christians will say is, "Yeah, I'm going to take that wave runner and I'm going to go all over the lake and just share the gospel with it, and therefore I'm really going to make sure that I am a blessing because of the wave runner." You're not going to do that. You're absolutely not going to do that. You're going to say you're going to do that, but you're not going to do that. So, what do we do? Well, if that wave runner, this is how you get it out of balance, by the way. If that wave runner, insert whatever it is you want. I'm just using this as an example. But if that wave runner is what's keeping you from God, then you're out of balance. That's where your treasure is. That's where your heart is. And it is not after God. And there's no blessing in that. But if you have recognized that that wave runner is whatever this might be, it could be a relationship, insert whatever, but you recognize that that object, that thing, that relationship, that whatever is a direct correlation of the blessings from God, and you keep that in line, you're okay. You're okay. As long as that is not becoming bumped above God, you're going to be okay. Everything is in balance, everything is as it should be. So you shouldn't have to worry. But you always have to make sure that you're paying attention to your own heart, your own mind, and focused on, is this thing that has become my priority. I'm noticing all the time that this is all I'm ever thinking about. This is all I'm ever talking about. And God is nowhere to be found. That becomes a problem. It, if that thing is something that you desire, now I'll give you a great good example of something that would be deemed as something positive. Let's take out the wave runner. Let's talk about your children. I don't know about you, but I prayed for mine, and I highly desired having the children that I have. And one is 11, almost 12 years old, and the other one is nearly 2 years old. There's a big gap between the two. And we prayed and prayed and prayed for both of them. By the time the second one got here, we actually stopped praying for them because we didn't, we were just kind of content with what God had given us. But God ultimately gave us that second child, and we were very thankful for it. But the thing is, as much as we love our children, God is the one who gave us the children. And God gave us the children in His own time, in His own way, according to His own will. We fully recognize that. And as such, we make sure that He becomes and maintains, that we maintain in our life, the priority, right? God first, then us, husband and wife, then the children, then everything afterwards. And that's how it should be. That's the proper order of things. When they get out of balance, that becomes a problem. All right? So even good and positive things like the love of a person, the love of whomever, um, that can become out of balance. God first. And the thing is, when God does become first, we love deeper, we love stronger. Our heart is connected with Him, and we are loved through Him, right? We can love God, we can love others in this sort of godly way. And it becomes, instead of this curse that some of these blessings can become, it remains a blessing, and that's where we want it to be. All right. So hopefully this message today was as clear as murky water, and you got something out of it. If so, let me know, and we'll see you next time.